Oh, what's going on, guys? This is going to be a quick one. Just wanted to come on here and kind of react to this article and like share my thoughts. I thought it was a really good article. I thought it was interesting. But obviously, as many of you probably know, Ben Roethlisberger retired earlier today. And this article by Brian D. Ardo of CBSSports.com is ranking the top 7 Steelers QB possibilities for the 2022 NFL season. So let's get right into it. I'm not gonna, read the background. I'm probably not gonna read a lot of the like meat and potatoes, the text of this article. I'm just gonna kind of like read his picks and kind of give my take on it. Obviously, I'm interested to see what you guys say. I'll probably make like a community poll and do like the 5 like favorite or the 5 coolest or best options for the Steelers, and you guys can vote on it. But also, if you want to leave a comment down below and kind of share your thoughts on it. I'll just kind of say this. I think the Steelers have a really good football team. I don't want to say Big Ben was holding them back, but I think with a veteran quarterback, even somebody that's just a little bit better than a game manager, I think that this football team could make a run in the playoffs. They have a phenomenal defense. They have weapons like crazy. They have a great head coach. I kind of want to go back to the weapons part of things. I mean, they're kind of stacked. Like, I'll start at the tight end because it's probably the least impressive, but Pat Freiermuth and Eric Ebron, both of those guys, they're not game breakers, but they're not slouches either. They can definitely make some noise, not really make some noise, but they can be very serviceable, and they're going to be getting easy matchups when you have guys like Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, and Juju Smith-Schuster. And then obviously Najee Harris at the running back position. So then their defense is stacked. They play really good. They have an amazing defensive line, a really good front seven. They get after the passer well, and then obviously Mike Tomlin. So I think that they have a great football team. I think they're really a quarterback away from accomplishing, an AFC championship berth. I think that would obviously be their goal because, just because they lost Ben, they're not going to, try and do a full-on rebuild. But let's get into the list real quick. Aaron Rodgers. I think this would obviously be a great option. Like, any team would love to have Aaron Rodgers, but why this would be a good fit. I can't show the footage because YouTube kind of hates me right now, and that's why I haven't been posting a lot lately, because they've kind of been mad at me for showing a lot of NFL clips and footage and stuff like that. But when the Packers played the Steelers, if you guys remembered or watched that game, Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin had like a little eye moment. Like they were almost kind of like flirting, like in a weird way. They were like showing respect for one another just via eye contact. And that was very, interesting, and kind of is why a lot of people think that the Steelers would be a great fit for Rodgers, because Tomlin and Rodgers have such a great respect for each other. They're a quarterback away. And, obviously Brian says the weapons like Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris, then they have an insane defense. Let's go on to number 2, a guy that I didn't watch a lot of him. I probably watched maybe 2 or 3 games of Kenny Pickett this year at Pittsburgh, but obviously it would kind of be like a little bit of a home guy, so to speak. I don't really have much analysis on Kenny Pickett. I think he's kind of like a Big Ben, except he's not as hard to tackle in the pocket. I mean, he's obviously a lot more mobile. He has good arm strength. He's kind of like I would say he's like a little bit better version of Baker Mayfield. Like, if you put Kenny Pickett in like an Oklahoma offensive system with those weapons, I think he does exactly what Baker did. He just has a little bit more of the physical tools, which I think Baker's lacking. But I don't think the Steelers like want to rebuild if Pickett falls to them and they don't have a plan to trade for kind of a star QB or an established QB. I think that's probably the next best option, obviously, relative to the other quarterback choices in the draft, which this year there's not very many. Russell Wilson, this one is also very interesting. Russell obviously said he's wanted out of Seattle for, I think, the last year. I don't think there were rumblings like 2 years ago or 2 seasons ago about him potentially wanting out, but this year he's actually made it known that like he's kind of ready to move on. Obviously Russ would be great. I think if you allow him to do his own thing, which Tomlin would, because he's a smart guy and he's not like Carroll, he's not stubborn, he's not trying to run the ball more. In the offensive line, I mean, the Steelers' offensive line isn't like one of the best in football by any stretch. It's a good offensive line. It's serviceable, I think. But just allowing the Seahawks offensive line was terrible, one of the worst in the league. And Russ would hold on to the ball a little bit too long, but that's something that, he can kind of fix. And, he'll have receivers that are consistently getting separation. Not that Lockett and Metcalf aren't. They're just more vertical threat kind of receivers, in my opinion. Lockett can do, obviously, more than Metcalf can over the middle and on some of those shorter routes. But I think that having a guy like Juju and Deontay that can kind of both go vertical and then horizontally as well. And then obviously having Claypool, a big guy in the seam or a vertical threat would be awesome. So yeah, I think Russ would be a great fit for them. I would obviously prefer them with Rodgers. And again, I'm not a Steelers fan. I'm just saying, like, from a Steelers fan perspective, what would they think? Obviously, they would want Rodgers because you're competing for a Super Bowl instantly. Russ, I think you're very close. You're competing for an AFC championship at the minimum, in my opinion. They're going to win that division with Russ if they had him with the team that they currently have around him. Let's move on to number 4, Matt Corral. I think it's Matt Corral or it might be Matt Corral. Honestly, I'm not sure. It kind of shows how much I don't watch Ole Miss or Lane Kiffin or any of those, SEC guys. Let's see what he says. Many analysts view Corral's best quarterback prospect in the 2022 draft. Past 2 seasons. So he's 6'1", 205, 49 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. That's obviously very good. 69% of his throws is also very good. Pickett, I think, is a little bit better. Granted, I just said I haven't really watched much of Matt. But yeah, I think the Steelers don't want a young quarterback. Obviously, if they have to, they will, but I think that they would want an established guy that can win them football games. And I think the best chances of that are a guy like a Jimmy Garoppolo, who's a game manager or a step above, and then an actual superstar like Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. Malik Willis is the Liberty quarterback, I believe. I can actually Google that real quick. It might be is he Louisville? No, he's a Liberty quarterback. Yeah, he's a Liberty quarterback. He's obviously one of the better QB prospects in this draft. Granted, there's not many good QB prospects. Number 6, Mason Rudolph. Number 7, Carson Strong. So yeah, obviously, I would choose Pickett first. You know what? Fuck it, dude. I might even, instead of having Matt Corral behind Pickett for the young quarterback option, I might even say Willis just because he's so much more mobile. And I'd love to see, Tomlin with those weapons. And obviously a great defense, kind of having like a Ravens feel, but having a better defense and more weapons. So that'd be awesome. But yeah, guys, I tried to make it quick. I rambled a lot. Sorry. I just kind of shared my thoughts. But if you guys like these type of videos, be sure to hit the like button. It really helps. And then, just let me know what you guys think, who you want the Steelers to have. Either way, Russ or Rodgers would obviously be a dream scenario for the Steelers, but there's no guarantees of that. So, but all right, guys, catch you in the next one. Later.